everybody, welcome and welcome back. We're going to be working a back bending sequence this morning or this afternoon. So you can, if you do have at home, a block would be great to have, and a bolster or something similar to it. If you have a long shaped pillow or even just a bed pillow, to be honest, will do the trick. I'm going to use that towards the end. I'm going to start you in a meditation, so as the girls are sitting in now, if you want to sit on the block or on the bolster, the pillow, you can elevate and sit on. And then we're going to cross the ankles in Sukhasana, which means we're crossing at the heels. We're going to go right in front of the left. So if you need to switch it out, it might feel a little unnatural. If that's not comfortable and it feels like your knees are kind of sitting right up by your shoulders, you can just cross the ankles or cross the shins instead. Okay. We're going to practice a mudra, so it's going to be thumb and index finger to touch. You can rest the hands either up or down on the knees. Take some movement if it feels like you need to move. If you want to wriggle through shoulders, kind of settle into sit bones. The mudra that we have here in the hands is connecting to air elements. So different fingers represent the different 5 elements. Our index finger represents air element, and air element sits physically in the body at the heart space in the heart chakra. So as we work a back bending sequence, we'll connect to this air element, we'll deeply connect to breath. And so here on a subtler level or subtler layer, we're starting to connect to breath. You can start to find a breath that has a little bit of sound. Think of a really even breath in and out the nose. And just starting to connect to this idea of air element. We can kind of trace the breath as it moves in through the nostrils, down the throat, and into the lungs. And then the breath as it moves out the lungs, past the throat, and out the nostrils. Imagine just for the next 3 to 5 breaths we could fill all the space in the mind just with this. And then on the next breath, if you'd like to, you can make it a big exhale. Let it have a little bit of sound. Let it feel like release. And then you can release the mudra in the hands. Go ahead and blink the eyes open. You're going to bring yourself off the block if you're sitting on one. Keep that same cross of the legs. Take your left hand to your right knee. So we're going to cup the left fingers around of the knee. Reach the right arm to the sky as you breathe in. Exhale, it's a diagonal side bend. So we're thinking left shoulder tracking same direction as the left knee. You can anchor that sit bone on the right side a little more, and then just think of it stretching or expanding the skin. Next time you exhale, a crisscross pattern through the arms. So right hand comes to capture the left knee, round the spine a lot. Bring your chin to your chest and start to lean your spine back. So you want this feeling that there's lots of space upper back between the scapula. Untangle the hands, bring same hands to same knees. Inhale, picture cow pose. So lift the heart, lift the chin, maybe even lift the gaze. Exhale to fold forward. You can walk the hands out in front of you. Let it be soft here, so let the head relax. Drop your chin in towards your chest. And just softness in and around the hips, in and around the glutes. And still that really steady, that really rhythmic breath. We won't be here for long, we'll give it one more breath only. And then walk the hands back up towards a seat. So you're going to untangle that right leg. Kick it out to the right diagonal. Bring your right hand to capture your left knee. And then take an inhale, reach the left arm to the sky. Exhale it to side bend down the straight leg. So it mimics the kind of same thing we were doing in that cross-legged seat. Like you could roll the sit bone down. And then expand through the side of the body and maybe reach wrist or fingers down towards the toes. Give it one more breath. Stay till the bottom of the exhale. And then breathe in to pull belly to spine, bring yourself up. Exhale, left hand lands way over to the left, supported wild thing. You're going to scoop that left shin underneath you. Flatten and anchor through the outer blade of your right foot, and then think of picking the left ribs up to the sky. Exhale, right shin lands under your right hip. Lower your sit bones down to your heels, and then point 2 knees to the front of the mat. So we're going to work a soft version of camel pose. You can inhale to bring your hips up above your knees, and then exhale to bring the hands to the lower back. So I prefer thumbs in, fingers up, but you can also work the hands in the opposite direction. And for now, just bring the elbows towards themselves. Bring the scapula together and down, and then think a little press of the hip bones forward out in front of you. If you want to, if there's capacity, you can lift the chin, lift the gaze a little, and then take one more inhale into the front of the body. Exhale, pull the ribs together, lower the sit bones back down to the heels, swing the legs around and come back to a seat. We'll switch out the legs, so you'll go left leg in front. Take your right hand now to your left knee. Inhale to reach the left arm up. Exhale, it's that diagonal side bend. So this doesn't have to be kind of maximum effort. We're just looking for a little bit of space down that left side. Give it last breath in. Exhale, crisscross the arms, left hand to the right knee. Round the spine a lot. Now really over-exaggerate. Lean the spine to the back wall. Untangle the hands, same hands to same knees. Inhale, picture cow pose. Roll to the front of the sit bones, lift the heart. And then we'll exhale to fold forward. You can plant the hands, you can relax the head, and again, let this feel really soft. Let it feel really passive. And then just a couple breaths to stay here. I often like to kind of picture swirling the breath. Imagine it could swirl in and around the hips, the glutes, wherever there's lots of feeling. And then when you're ready to come back up towards the seat, left leg kicks out to the left diagonal. Left hand comes to capture right knee. Take an inhale to reach the right arm up, and then exhale, straight leg. So this isn't about reaching hand to foot, it's just moving in that direction. More what we're looking for here is that anchoring of the right sit bone, and then this space down the right ribs, the right side body. Next time you breathe in, pull your belly to your spine, come all the way up. Exhale, plant the right hand outside the right thigh. Take a big inhale, a big scoop of the left arm, supported wild thing. You'll roll that right shin underneath you. Now the feeling here again is like you could pull the right ribs up to the sky. And then exhale, land the left shin under your left hip, lower sit bones to heels, point 2 knees to the front of the room. Camel prep, we'll take an inhale, pick the hips up above the knees, exhale, hands come to the lower back. So same thing, we'll work thumbs in, fingers up. And this time if you want, you can use the heel of the hand not just to press the hip bones forward, but it's this feeling like you could lengthen the skin between the lower and the mid-back. So we kind of remove that feeling of dumping into the lower back, and then breathe again into the belly, into the front of the body. As you exhale, pull the ribs together to come safely out of it. You'll lower the sit bones back to your heels. 2 hands come flat, either sides of the knees. Spread the fingers wide. Lolasana, just for a moment. You're going to round through the upper back. Lift the sit bones away from the heels, and then get as light as you can on your feet for 2. For 1, high plank, step 2 feet back. So we try and maintain this tension of shoulders over thumbs. We'll take an inhale here to stay. Exhale, bend the right knee, tap the right knee lightly to the floor. As you inhale, re-straighten through the right leg, and exhale, left knee to tap. Good. Inhale to straighten. Exhale, right knee to tap. We'll breathe together, breathe in. Exhale, left. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, right. Last one to breathe in. Exhale, left. Plank on the inhale, 2 legs straight. Child's pose, exhale. Knees wide, press and melt the hips back. So we're just here for a breath. So kind of maximize on space, on feeling right away. Breathe in as you bring your chin to your chest, round forward. You're going to curl past a tabletop. Stay with me. Keep your chin at your chest. Exhale, melt the hips to the back of the wrist. Separate the feet way wider than the mat. Breathe in to lift the chin to pull the heart through. Push the hands into the ground, and then we'll pause. Maybe it feels good to take a little rock of the hips from side to side. The sensation will even change if you plug the hands into the floor a little more. And then child's pose as you exhale, bend the knees and press back again. We'll go one more time, just like that. Bring your chin to your chest. Inhale, start to wave forward. Exhale, keep that chin lock. Melt hips to wrists, separate the feet. It's the inhale to pull the heart through. Really plug the hands into the floor. Child's pose, exhale to press back. This time as you breathe in, tabletop to draw forward. Exhale, settle your knees under your hips. So you're going to spin the right fingers to face the right wall. Estimate shoulder distance and plant the left hand towards the top right corner of the mat. We'll tuck the toes under. It's going to feel a little sticky. Inhale, cow pose here. Think of getting long through the left side of the waist. As you exhale, tops of the feet to the mat. We'll round the spine, bring the chin in towards the chest, and push 2 hands into the floor. We'll go once more only. Tuck the toes under. Inhale, cow pose. And then exhale, tops of the feet to the mat. Press into the palms. Inhale, find center with the spine. Exhale, left hand steps under left shoulder. Right fingers orient forward. Meet me in a high plank. You can step 1 leg back at a time or float 2 knees simultaneously. So this is our inhale. We've got 2 legs straight. Now as you exhale, bend and tap 2 knees simultaneously to floor. It's an inhale to straighten the legs. Exhale to bend and to tap. Inhale to straighten. Exhale to tap. We'll go once more. Breathe in to straighten the legs. Exhale to bend and tap. This time, inhale, straighten the legs. Child's pose, exhale. We melt back. Now, kind of as you get there, we'll move chin to chest. Inhale to curl forward. Exhale, hips to wrists, separate the feet. As you breathe in, that's the up dog. Child's pose, exhale, we'll melt back. And then we'll go once more. If you want to, now close down the eyes. Breathe in to curl forward. Exhale, it's hip bones to the back of the wrists. Breathe in to really exaggerate. Maybe pull shoulder blades together a little more. Pull belly back towards itself. And then child's exhale, reverse back. Inhale, tabletop to curl forward. It's traditional now. Exhale, settle your knees underneath you. Spin the left fingers to the left. Plant the right hand about shoulder distance, top left corner. So it's 2 rounds. You're going to tuck the toes. Inhale for cow. Think of getting long down the right side. Exhale for cat. It's tops of the feet to the mat, and we round. Good. Hear the breath. Once more to breathe in. Exhale, tops of the feet to the mat, round, it's cat. Inhale, find center. Exhale, plant right hand under right shoulder, orient left fingers forward. Now as you breathe in, tuck the toes under. Cow pose is the inhale. Down dog is your exhale. We press all the way up and back. So I'll give you around 3 breaths. We've made a fair amount of space, kind of upper body, sides of the body. So if you feel like you need to iron out some stickiness in the lower half of the body, then just kind of let it have some organic free movement here. And then definitely plug back into that element of air, of breath, and leaning on that as this deeper concentration throughout practice, and to kind of facilitate that deeper heart opening, back bending, that awareness of heart chakra. Take a little bend to the knees. Step your feet behind your wrists at the top of the mat. As you land, we'll take a halfway lift on the inhale. You can keep it fairly soft. And then exhale to fold, relax the head, relax the face at the bottom. High mountain to inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. We're going to exhale, take hands to opposite elbows above the head. Take a little bend to the knees, a little crack at the knees, and then lean the forearms over to the right a little. It doesn't have to be big, we're just looking for some feeling down the left side. You're going to take an inhale here to stay. Can you lean a little more? As you exhale, semicircle your way down to a forward fold. So it's a half sunflower. At some point, the chest will pivot to face the shins. Release the hands at the bottom and then take a halfway lift to inhale to reset. Exhale, high plank, land your hands and step the feet back. Right away, we're going to go belly all the way down to the ground. Use your knees if you need to. Untuck the feet at the bottom. Tented fingers, elbows up, forehead to floor. You've got one round of a rolling cobra. So using your whole inhale to pick up off the floor, the very last thing to lift is the head. And then a long exhale to roll, kind of one segment, one piece of the body at a time to the ground. Last thing to connect is the forehead. Flatten your hands, tuck your toes. Come to plank as you breathe in, straighten the arms. Down dog is your exhale, we press back. Take a moment, take a breath. Let the exhale have sound if it needs to. And then we'll inhale, push the palms into the ground, really purposefully lengthen top of the body. Exhale, Vajrasana. You'll bend the knees, lower and sit down to your heels, sit back to your shins. Inhale, it's a camel prep. So you're going to lift the hips up above the knees. Exhale options, you can take hands to lower back. You can tuck the toes under to make it more accessible and reach hands down to heels. You can also reach hands down with tops of the feet to the floor. That's going to make it a little bit more intense. Whatever you're doing in your body, I just want it to feel like we're not necessarily at the edge. Want it to feel steady, want it to feel safe. And there's still this little pull of belly to spine. You're engaging glutes to drive the hip bones forward. Good, nice adjustments. And then take one more inhale to stay. Can you hang on? Exhale, pull the ribs together to lower the sit bones back to the heels. There's a little bit of reprieve, that little release at the bottom. Step your right foot forward to the top of the mat. Meet me Anjaneyasana as you breathe in. We'll reach two arms up to the sky. So we're going to exhale, interlace the hands at the back of the head. Breathe in and imagine cow pose. So you're relaxing the head to the hands, let the elbows flare. And then exhale to picture cat will round through the upper back in particular. So you want to feel the hips move back above that back knee. It's pretty strong. We're engaging that left glute to think of driving the left hip bone forward. And then push the right foot into the ground so that right leg is engaged as well. Inhale, imagine cow pose. Relax head to hands, elbows wide. Exhale to pull the hips way back. Tuck right underneath you and then drive that right foot into the floor. Once more. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, visualize cat. If you squeeze the left glute, does that give you a little more feeling front of the left hip? Inhale, Anjaneyasana, reach two arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, half split with chair in the arms. So think of the trunk or the torso and that right quad at two diagonals. Now as you inhale, we'll lunge forward, twisted lunge. Plant the left hand to the floor. You can take a kind of three-quarter circle of the right arm up and over. And then exhale, right bicep near your ear, the fingers reach to the front of the room. Side cobra, spin all 10 toes to the right. We're going to keep it lifted, which means you're planting the left hand as hard as you can into the ground. Think of expanding right ribs up. We're moving to a wild thing. If you feel like you need to lower a hand or drop a knee, feel free to. Otherwise, can you keep the right arm reaching forward? Beautiful. And then plant the ball of the right foot back behind you. Squeeze your glutes and amplify the inhale for space. Exhale, right hand to the ground. Bring your right knee to your nose and plant the right foot between the thumbs. Lower the back knee down to the ground. We'll spin on the left knee, supported wild thing to the back of the mat. If you can, plant your left hand to the very back left corner. That right leg will straighten and adjust, and then reach the right arm up and over. So you're welcome to stay with me. You can keep that straight right arm and just turn chest a little to the sky. If you want more, you can take the right hand to hold the back of the head and relax the head into the hand. So think of working the right elbow to the floor. So see if you can take one more inhale. Now can you think left ribs up to the ceiling? Exhale, plant the right hand down to the ground. Roll to the ball of the right foot. Bring your left knee to your chest. Create that little suction of left knee to sternum. As you breathe in, take the left knee to tap the floor, and then exhale, bring the left knee all the way back up to chest. Good. We'll go 2 more. Inhale to tap. Exhale, bring it to chest. Once more. Use your breath. Inhale. Exhale, knee to chest. Hold it. Lower the right knee to the floor. Left leg floats back. So if that's enough, you are welcome to stay here. If you want more, we're going to reach opposite arm, opposite leg, so you'll reach your right arm forward out in front of you. Again, if this is enough, you sustain this. If you still want more, you're going to bend the left leg, that's your back leg. Reach the right arm back, tiger variation, see if you can capture the foot. If we have hold of the foot, either way, you're driving your foot into your hand, but then also just to kind of get curious as to what feels better. Whether you flare or close off the ribs, that's going to give you different sensation, especially in that back leg and that back quad. So just feel for what feels good in your body. We'll then release, meet tabletop, hands and knees to floor, cat, round the spine, counter that, and really exaggerate that stretch of the skin along the back. Tuck the toes, cow pose is a big breath in. We're back to breath. Exhale, down dog, press the hips up and back. Give it that steady, that kind of soothing breath, leaning element. And then step your feet behind your wrists. What is now top of the mat? Take a halfway lift on the inhale. Exhale to fold. Breathe in for high mountain, reach the arms up. You'll exhale, hands to opposite elbows. Take a little bend, a little crack to the knees, and then lean the forearms to the left. So think of shrinking the left side. You still want 2 sides of the waist evenly facing the top of the mat. And then next time you exhale, semicircle via the left to a forward fold. So there's definitely lots of sensation to be felt en route. So we kind of don't want to miss that. And then once you're at the bottom, take a halfway lift on the inhale. The hands will release. Exhale, high plank and lower to your belly. We're going all the way down to the floor. Untuck the toes at the bottom. Tented fingers, elbows up, forehead down. You've got 1 round of that rolling cobra. You're following the sound or the rhythm of your own breath. Maybe even eyes are closed. And then plant the hands flat. Tuck the toes, plank as you breathe in. Can you move from your belly button? Down dog is the exhale to travel back. Once we arrive down dog, take an inhale, push and plug the hands into the floor. Exhale, Vinyasa, bend the knees, drop the knees, sit back to your heels. So we'll inhale for that camel prep. You bring your hips up above the knees. It's exhale, any variation. It can be hands to back. It can be hands to feet. There will be 2 more rounds after this, so again, it doesn't have to be maximum. We're just looking for feeling that feels good, good space, good sensation, and something that we can still maintain breath as we hold. As you exhale, pull the ribs together, lower the sit bones back to the heels, that little bit of release for lumbar spine. And then step the left foot to what is now top of the mat. Vinyasa on the inhale, reach 2 arms up. Exhale, hands interlace back of the head. We'll take an inhale, imagine that cow again. So it's a heavy skull to your hands. Exhale, visualize cat. You're going to round particularly thoracic, cervical, and squeeze the right glute to drive the right hip bone forward. Inhale, picture cow pose. Exhale, it's cat, and that breath kind of feels clearing, like we could really empty the mind of anything else. Once more, inhale, picture cow pose. Exhale, that rounding, look for feeling, press the left foot into the floor. Inhale, Anjaneyasana, reach 2 arms up. Exhale, half split with chair in the arms. So imagine yourself kind of in this little V shape. Inhale, twisted lunge. We'll lunge forward, plant the right hand down. You can take a 3/4 circle of the left arm back, up, and around. And then keep moving. Exhale, bicep knee. Your ear fingers reach forward. You can spin all 10 toes to the left. Think of lifting right ribs up, exactly, and then plant, or left ribs rather, plant the right hand down into the floor. Wild thing when you're ready, you can either float that left foot, step it all the way up and back. If you need to, use 2 hands. You're welcome to lower that bottom knee. And then squeeze the glutes when you're there. That's going to help drive the hip bones up. As you exhale, left hand to the ground. Left knee to your nose. Step the left foot between your hands. Drop the right knee to the floor. Supported wild thing to the top of the mat now. You'll spin on the right knee. Plant the right hand way to the top right corner. And then reach with the left arm. Again, you can stay with that extended arm. If you did on the other side, take left hand to hold the back of the head. Think a heavy head into the hand. So kind of like that left elbow could chase the shoulder. And then as you exhale, plant 2 hands down to the ground. Spin to the ball of the left foot. Suction your right knee up into your chest. We'll take an inhale. Right knee to the floor. Exhale to create that suction. Really push the hands into the ground. Good, nice breathing. 2 more. Exhale. Once more, breathe in. Exhale, create that suction. Stay with that suction. Lower your left knee. That's the opposite knee to ground. Now float the right leg back. And then we can start to kind of layer on and build on. So if you want more, you're reaching your left arm forward. If you still want more, you bend the back leg, left hand back to capture the foot. So again, there'll be 2 different feelings, and there isn't a right or wrong, neither is superior, but either ribs to flare, or you can close off the ribs. It also doesn't have to be one or the other, so maybe kind of exploring both. When you've had enough, meet me in that tabletop. We'll counter that shape with a big, big, big rounding. Bring your chin into your chest and really push everything into the floor. Tuck the toes, cow pose. It's a big breath in. And then down dog is your exhale. So give it a breath again. If you feel like you want to make the exhale nice and audible, you can give it some sound. We're going to prep for 1 more round of flow, and we'll kind of layer onto it a little. When you're ready to, bend your knees, step your feet behind your wrists. Take a halfway lift at the top, and an exhale to fold. Breathe in for high mountain, reach the arms up to the sky. You'll exhale, take hands to opposite elbows again. Have that little crack to the knees, and then lean the forearms a little to the right. So we've got 1 inhale here. You're leaning to the right diagonal. This time as you exhale, semicircle via the left. Meet me in that forward fold. Eventually, there's no rush. You'll release 2 hands down to the floor. Once you're there, halfway lift to breathe in. Exhale, high plank to chaturanga. First one. If you need to use your knees, we catch at 90. Back to plank as you breathe in. Now it's a vinyasa of your choice. Eventually we'll meet back in a down dog, but take your time. You really just want to be led by breath. And let that breath sustain the practice, a breath that feels like it's energizing. As you breathe in, push the hands into the ground. Feel the trunk get a little longer. Exhale, Vajrasana, bend the knees, lower the shins down, sit back to your heels. So we'll inhale for that camel prep. Pick your hips up above your heels. Exhale, same versions apply. Hands to back, hands to feet, toes tucked or untucked. If you'd like to add on, once you're there and it feels steady, you can inhale to reach the right arm initially straight up, so think wrist above the shoulder, And if you still want more, you can reach the fingers back in space. So like you're getting longer down that right side again, you still should be able to maintain a breath. Again, it doesn't have to be at the very, very edge. As you exhale, pull everything towards itself, sit back to your heels. Right foot takes a big step forward. Aeroplane on the landing, you'll launch the chest, launch the left leg, and sweep 2 arms back. Beautiful. So this is active. We've got a little bend to the right leg for stability. That left glute is engaged to lift the left heel, and then you're picturing up dog, so pull your shoulder blades together. Stay exactly as you are. Just reach your left arm forward. Bring your bicep near your ear. Now bend the right leg a lot. Step the ball of the left foot back. Right hand to your left hamstring. Tip your twist. It's a big inhale to lean in 2 different directions. Exhale, twisted lunge, left hand to the ground, right arm to the sky. Side cobra, you can keep moving, right bicep near the ear, turn the toes to face the right. Now we're moving wild thing again. Same options, you can use a hand, you can use knees. If you want more, see if you can take the right hand to chase underneath the right shoulder. Maybe there's a wheel, so maybe 2 hands can plant. Exhale, right hand to the floor. Right knee to your nose. Step the right foot between your hands. Lower the left knee down to the ground. Supported wild thing to the back of the mat. Plant the left hand to the back left corner. Reach with the right arm. You can stay if it's feeling like it's enough. If you want more, fallen star. Kick the bent leg, that's your left leg, straight out in front of you. And then just look for good spaciousness here. As you exhale, re-bend the left knee. Plant the left knee back under your left hip. We're back to that supported wild thing. Breathe in. Exhale, right hand to the ground. Spin to the ball of the right foot. Suction your left knee back to your chest. Now the trick here is we're going to try and keep the left leg, left foot up off the floor. Inhale, bend the right knee. Tap the right knee to the ground. Exhale to straighten the right leg. We'll go 2 more. Inhale to tap. Exhale to straighten. Once more. Breathe in. Exhale. Inhale, lower the right knee. Exhale, kick the left leg back. Amazing. You can stay. You can reach the right arm forward. If you want, you're bending the back leg again, hand to receive the foot. If you want a little bit of extra space here, you can come to the tops of the left hand. So think tented fingers on the left palm. And see if that gives you a little more room, a little more capacity. When you're done, we'll untangle. Hands and knees to floor, they're flat. Round the spine for cat, that little bit of release again. Tuck the toes, cow pose on the inhale. Down dog is the exhale, we'll press back. Okay, let's give it a big breath. Let it be audible again, lean on that breath for a little bit of energy. It's going to be last round of kind of strenuous flow. Step your feet back behind your wrists. You're now facing back of the mat. Take a halfway lift and an exhale to fold. High mountain, inhale, we'll reach up. Exhale, hands to opposite elbows. Bend the knees a little and lean to the left. So you're going to take 1 inhale in that left lean. Exhale, now swing the forearms to the right. You semicircle in the opposite direction. Take your time and meet me in a fold at the bottom. Release the hands if you haven't already. Take a halfway lift to inhale. Exhale, high plank to chaturanga, step back. You are more than welcome to use your knees. And then can you go back to plank on the inhale? Now it's a vinyasa of your choice. That can look like anything. It can be a knees, chest, chin. Maybe it's a cobra. Eventually, it's down dog, and you're moving to your exhale to get there. Breathe in to push into the palms. Exhale, Vidrasana, bend the knees, untuck the feet, and sit back. Okay, last camel. You're going to inhale, pick the hips up above the knees, and then exhale, take on your variation. So you can work that single arm in any of the variations we worked through. So it can be hands to feet or to lower back. Your left arm can either reach straight up or you can reach it up and back behind you. Whatever you're doing, keep pulling the right shoulder blade towards the left. Give it last breath in. And then exhale, pull everything back together. Sit bones back to your heels. You want to feel that release at the lumbar spine first. And then step the left foot forward. As it lands, we'll launch, airplane to breathe in, to scoop, right leg in the air to reach the arms back. So we want to feel like it's active. The right glute is lifting the right heel. The fingers reach all the way back. Your collarbones kind of lean forward. Reach your right arm forward out in front of you. Bring your bicep near your ear. Bend the left leg a lot. Step the ball of the right foot back. Left hand to the right hamstring. Tip your twist for 1 breath in. Exhale, twisted lunge, right hand to the ground. Left arm to the sky. Side cobra, bring your left bicep near your ear and turn all 10 toes to the left. You want to feel like you could lift the left ribs. Now we're moving to that last wild thing. Same options apply. If you feel like you have capacity here to kind of nudge towards a back bend expression, the left fingers are chasing the ground. Whatever you're doing, think 2 ribs evenly to sky. And then as you exhale, left hand to the floor, left knee to your nose, step the left foot through. Lower the right knee to the ground, supported wild thing to the top of the mat, plant right hand, top right corner, reach the left arm. You can take that fallen star. If you did on the other side, you'll kick the right leg out in front of you, and then take a big, big, big inhale to get long. Exhale, re-bend the right knee, plant right knee back underneath right hip. We're back to that supported wild thing for a beat. Exhale, left hand to the ground, roll to the ball of the left foot, bring your right knee to your chest. We're trying to keep this off the floor. Inhale, bend the left knee, exhale to straighten. 2 more, breathe in, exhale. Once more, inhale, exhale to straighten. Inhale, bend the left knee to lower, exhale, right leg kicks back, left arm reaches forward. So you can bend the leg, capture the foot, take that tiger pose. And if you want that kind of exploring a little more space, I actually feel like it can feel more accessible with more height in that bottom hand. And then it's your last back bend, so really enjoy that spaciousness. We'll exhale to release, hands and knees to ground, cat. Here's your last big rounding, that last release for lower back here. As you inhale, tuck the toes, it's cow pose. Down dog is your exhale, press back. We're going to take 3 breaths to close. So you can breathe in through the nose. You might want to close down the eyes. Exhale through the nose or the mouth. Connect to the air. Feel the air move through the nostrils. Exhale out through the nose or the mouth. Last time to breathe in and to exhale. Have a little bend to the knees. You can look forward, jump or step to a seat. And then bring the feet to touch like we would have them for Baddha Konasana. If you want to have a sip of water now, wipe yourself down, feel free to. You can join us again when you're ready. But the feet here we want in what we call Tarasana. So if you could place the hands between the sit bones and the heels, you could plant probably 2 flat hands. And then take an inhale just to kind of lengthen up, and then an exhale to round and fold forward. So we want this to be soft. It's really passive. So we want this to be soft. It's really passive. You're letting the head kind of hang. If you feel like it's uncomfortable with the head just hanging in space, if you have the block or even the pillow, you can bring that underneath the forehead for a little bit of support. If the pillow doesn't feel like it's quite enough on its own, you can fold it up, you can double it up, you can loop your forearms underneath it and give a little bit of elevation there as well. But we want this very deliberate, rounded spine. And we want this release to feel like we're getting relief through the back body. In a shape like this, we can't avoid feeling that we might feel at adductor and at hip. We just kind of embrace that. But the intention here in terms of want that release for spine. If you feel like you want to connect back to breath, back to that air element again, hear the sound of the breath, maybe the temperature of the breath, the rhythm of the breath. And I want you to imagine directing your inhales into the back of your body. So instead of forcing a big belly breath here, we breathe into the back of the ribs. And then like as we exhale here, we could really just lean in, we can succumb to gravity, to the fold, to that heaviness. And then that happens on repeat. It's that inhale to body, and the exhale to get as soft as you can and as heavy as you can simultaneously. We'll give it another breath or two. Having said that, if you feel like you need more time, you're welcome to stay. You can pause the video and join in again when you've had enough release. You can keep that rounding and roll yourself up towards a seat. Your prop will move out the way. Bring the hands to the outside of the knees and kind of scoop the knees together. We'll flex the feet. Place whole hand under the sole of the foot like we would for Parahastasana. And you want to feel knees are kind of in the armpits or even backs of the arms. And then start to press the feet down towards the floor. You'll feel the back of the hand press towards the ground. And maybe drop the chin in towards the chest. Now instead of just working the feet down, can you work in an opposing action? So spine to the back of the room. Like we could pull and stretch the body in two different directions. So you'll kind of take a couple of breaths there, take a beat. If you feel like you're ready for more, you release the feet, step the feet one step further away from you, and then start to work feet down towards the ground, backs of the hands towards the floor. Simultaneously lean the spine, like you could literally imprint it on the wall behind you. We're pulling the body two different directions. Again, you take a breath or two. If you still need more, you flex the feet again, step the heels out, and you keep working the shape in that same way. You want to take kind of enough of a pause at each stage where we feel like we've maximized on the space that we can make there. And then I'll give you another 2 or so breaths. When you're ready, you can release the hands from the feet, roll the spine back up towards a seat, and then we're going to set ourselves up for our closing shape. If you don't have props, you can just come to lie on your back, traditional Shavasana. If you do have props, you're going to place one block on its flat setting at the very, very top of the mat. Your pillow or your bolster is going to lie over the block. The top third of the bolster is sitting on the block. So it kind of cascades down towards the ground. The bottom of the bolster will come into the lower back, and then you can roll the spine down over the bolster. So the head or the skull should feel like it lands kind of where the block is underneath you. Options for the legs. You can kick the legs down like Shavasana. If you feel like when you lie back after a back bending practice, it can be uncomfortable at the lower back, you can have the feet down, the knees up. You can knock the knees into the touch. And if you're doing that, it can be nice to take kind of a little tuck of the tailbone to kind of readjust and lengthen the lower back a little. And then with the body or with the chest elevated in this way, you can have the hands maybe a little further away from you than you would have for Shavasana. Let the thumbs roll back, let the palms roll up. And really just maximizing the space across the chest, across heart chakra. So close down the eyes if you haven't already. And before we do anything else, we just come back to anchor to breathing again. So we won't do anything with the breath just yet, except just observe the natural rhythm. It can feel really soothing just to rest your mind on your breath. And just using the breath to become as present as you can in your body for the next 60 to 90 seconds. And then the first thing I want you to do here is just to notice heart space. So notice the physical space across the chest, the space that we've made throughout practice. And then if you were to feel into feeling or emotion, notice kind of any dominant feeling that you feel in heart space at the end of practice. We don't have to do anything with that information. There's nothing you need to change, nothing you need to solve. We're just noticing. It can be really helpful to name feelings. And then that's it. We just observe, just acknowledge. This practice of spending time with ourselves, spending time within ourselves. And then connect back to air element once again. So air element physically in the body, if you remember, sits in heart chakra, so sits across the chest. And you can notice first just air kind of in surroundings, so the air on the skin, the temperature on the skin, if there's a breeze coming in through a window from a fan, noticing that sensation. And then start to notice this relationship between the space around us, the air around us, and breath. And as we breathe in, like the body could create this cavity, this space for air to fill into. And as we exhale, air presses or pushes back out of the body and back into the space around you. And if it's helpful, you can just trace that in your mind. Notice the air moving through the nostrils, down the throat, into the lungs, out the lungs, past the throat, and out the nostrils. And what we draw on from that breath, from that oxygen, is that life-giving prana, that life force energy, that aliveness and that deep presence that you now feel in your body. Keep the eyes closed, keep the body soft. Let's close together. We'll take a really gentle inhale through the nose. Maybe you can feel the belly bellow. There's lots of room to expand. And then an easy exhale to empty. I'll leave you to stay. Take a little bit of time here on your own. When you do come out of it, it might be nice to roll to one side and then come up to a seat, kind of recalibrate everything in a seat. And then thank you as always, and I'll see you soon.